All right. So today we're talking about just diving in. Okay. So I started trading about 3 years ago, and I avoided learning to do it like the fucking plague, right? So even though I was like drawn to this thing, I felt every reason to like avoid it for some reason. So it was like slow season at my job, and they had this club opening up in New York. So I asked the district manager through email, could I go work there? Because I was like, oh my God, like New York, like I could live there and work there. So like if I like this place, like then I could, and I'm just like creating this like story in my head, right? No response. So then I get to work and I see that every single girl is like talking about this club and how they're gonna go work there and train there, and I'm devastated. I'm like, why didn't he write me back? Like, what the hell? Like, I'm supposed to be going there. So instead of taking time off, like I said that I would, all of January, all of February, so that I can focus on trading, I go travel to Dallas with my friend and go work out there. Literally avoiding learning trading in every single way possible. So I get out there, and it's the worst experience I ever had, the worst money I've ever made. And I'm like, okay, God, okay, what's going on? Why? What is going on? And I'm like, okay. So I get back home and I am just going through it. I'm bawling my eyes out. Like my boyfriend at the time, I'm like talking to him. I'm like, I don't understand like why things aren't working out for me. And I'm just like crying in the bathtub. And then I get out the tub and I realize, I'm like, you've been saying for how long that you was gonna start trading? You've been telling yourself you gonna do something and you haven't done it. And I was like, okay, you know what? God doesn't block things in your life for no reason. I was like, God wants me to start trading. Like, God wants me to do what I said I was going to do. For some reason, I was intrigued by trading. Like, I read the books. Like, every sign was pointing me to like trading. It was in my reality. Like, I really feel like when something's in your reality and it's just like, I'm here, it's like, do it. So, um, I finally realized the truth. It was uncomfortable to dive into trading, but I just did it. Like I just did it. And I was avoiding it because I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of having to learn something new from the start and being like dumb at it and not knowing like what the fuck I was doing. And it was just so out of my comfort zone. Like it's something that I've never, ever experienced. I feel like I've done so many things, but they've all like somewhat been the same kind of skill. But this one was like, oh, this is all mental. And I was afraid. I was afraid. And I had to really sit with myself and realize like, baby, you're just afraid and that's okay. Like on the other side of that fear is everything that you said you were going to do. So I did it. And we're going to talk about just jumping in because the reason I tell you the story is God will keep blocking paths for you. Like, keep blocking them and making them hell. I'm talking like hell, like poking, boom, boom, boom. You don't want to listen? Boom, make it worse. You don't want to listen? Make it worse. You don't want to listen? Make it worse. Like, listen, or you will be in hell. I promise. And they're whispers, but the whispers get louder and louder and louder. So when God puts something in your path, you do it. And if you don't believe in God, if you believe in universe, if you believe in life, like whatever you believe in, that thing, that oneness, it's all talking to you. So when it's there in your face, listen. Like just listen. So no matter how far along you are on your journey, um, there will be something that will scare you all over again. Like, I've done so much, like, on this journey. Like, I have jumped and leaped and went with the faith of God this whole, like, my whole life. And there's some things that are so scary, but to me it wasn't, like, I'm like, moving out of my hometown, easy. Like, starting in this new job and not knowing anybody, easy. Like, moving to another city and starting my own business, easy. Like, but there are things that are gonna, like, really stop you, and you're gonna be like, okay, God, this is really uncomfortable. Like, the other ones are, like, uncomfortable, but this one's really uncomfortable. And you will try to avoid it. You will make every excuse in the book to why you can't and won't do it. And you will make every excuse in the book to not do it. But guess what? It won't go away. Like, the thoughts won't go away. You trying to avoid it, it doesn't matter. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So today we're going to talk about just diving into whatever that thing is that you say you want to do or say you're going to do, or that is on your path, or something that you've just been continuously thinking about, and you're like, I'll do it later. I'll just do it later. Cause I'm doing this, I can't do this. It's like all excuses. So I'm here today to let you know, like, just dive in, because it doesn't get easier over time with you pushing that shit off. Honestly, it gets harder. Like, it gets harder. It gets harder to start. As much as you keep pushing it off, it gets even harder. So I'm here so I can let you know to just dive in. Because once you actually dive in, it becomes easier. It gets easier to get up and do that thing. It gets easier to do what you say you're going to do. It gets easier. It just does. So just know that everything is hard when you first start it. And then boom, shit just clicks for you. Like, I got this. Think of anything you've done for the first time and it was so hard. And then you continue to do it and you like, it just became second nature. You're like, this is easy. Everything becomes like that once you actually give it full effort and give it the time and be patient with it. Everything. So today we're going to cover what happens when you don't just dive in. And then we're going to cover what happens when you actually dive in and show up every single day. And then we're going to talk about how to make diving in easier and how to incorporate it in your day-to-day. Okay, so what happens when you don't just dive in to what you want? Okay, haven't you seen someone like set a goal and, like, let's say going to the gym, and they say, like, at the beginning of the year, January, at the beginning of the year, New Year's, new me, you know that saying. And they're like, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym every day. And then January 2nd comes around because, you know, they partied New Year's Eve. So they tired January 1st. They're like, I'm going to start January 2nd. Already pushing it off. And then the 2nd comes and it's time to go to the gym. And they don't go. And they make an excuse. And then the next day comes. I gotta go do this thing. And they don't go to the gym. And the next day come. We already watching TV. Like, your mind come in. Like, why should we go to the gym? Because you said you was going to. So now time goes by and you put your head up. Because when you don't do what you say you're gonna do and you just live in cycles, that shit, life fly by. It flies by. And you put your head up. And it's August. And you still ain't went to that motherfucking gym. And you like, whoa, it's August? And you like, you know what? I'm gonna just start at the beginning of the year. New year, new me. Like, No, how about you start right now? How about you dive in right now? Like, what are you waiting for? Like, right now. Why not right now? So that's what we're talking about right now, because this is how it is. So when you don't dive into what you want, procrastination sets in. And procrastination, it just gives you too much time to overthink, and then you end up not doing it. So you say, I'm gonna start eating healthy. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start eating healthy. And then there's this quick meal in the freezer that's not good for you when you know it. And you should have cooked, but you're like, oh, I'm gonna cook later. I got a thaw the meat out. Oh, I'm gonna thaw it out right now, but you just keep procrastinating. And you know what? Let me give you another example. You wanna start a business, and you're like, I am really, really interested. I'm really, really interested in selling jewelry. I love jewelry. Like no one knows jewelry like I know jewelry. I wanna start a business doing it. And then you wake up and you don't take any steps towards doing it. And then the procrastination kicks in, the thought comes in, and it's like, we should do something towards it. And you're like, but I don't know what to do. And you're like, do something. Get on the fucking computer and figure it out. Do something. Procrastination is a fucking killer. As soon as you hear a thought that gives you some kind of excuse to not do it, that makes you put it off till tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes months later, don't listen to it. Instead, as soon as you hear it, before that thought comes in, just dive in. Just dive in. You want to start that jewelry store? There is not one question you can't go on YouTube and find. There is not one question you can't go ask Chat GBT, whatever it's called, and figure out the answer to it. There are no more excuses for procrastination. Like, get to it. Get to it. And I keep licking my lips like this because this lipstick is mad and it is drizzy. But anyways, get to it. Just dive in. And then when you procrastinate, so you let this procrastination come in, and then you end up not doing it for so long, you start losing confidence. You start not believing in yourself because you're lying to yourself. How can you trust yourself when you keep lying to yourself? It's the craziest thing to me. If I keep telling myself every single fucking day that I'm gonna get up and start this business and I find a reason not to do it, why in the hell am I gonna believe myself the next day? You lose confidence in yourself and you're like, how can I trust myself if I didn't tell myself for 3 months straight that I'm gonna do it and I still haven't done it? You have to find trust in self, and you gain that every single day. I promise you, when I set a goal, I know it's already done because I promised myself something and I've proved to myself that when I say I'm going to do something, I actually do it. And that's all it is. It's about loving ourselves. It's about taking care of ourselves. It's about like, I love me so much. And when I say I love me, like, I love me. So why am I going to lie to me? Why am I going to lie to me and say, I'm going to do this and not do it for myself? If I know that's good for me, why am I not getting to it? So yeah, you lose confidence in yourself when you keep promising yourself something and you don't do it. So this is another cause of not just diving in and just doing what you say you're going to do. And then you end up putting it off. And then you just never get to what you say you're going to do. And then you wake up and you not where you want to be. And then you in a job you don't want to be in. Like if you in a job you don't want to be in, or you in some part of your life that you don't want to live in, ask yourself questions like, I don't know if what you believe in, God, universe, life, whatever you believe in, like yourself, like believe in yourself and just ask yourself, like, how do I better my life? Like, how do I get out of this situation and make it better? How do I make more money? How do I achieve the things I want to achieve? And if you don't know what you want to achieve, ask yourself, like, what do I want to achieve? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I see myself in 10 years? Like, you need to really like sit down and be intentional in life, or this shit will fly by. And when I tell you to do something, like, really just dive into that shit. I don't care how silly you feel. Like, sometimes we feel so crazy talking to ourselves, but I'd be sitting here talking to me and I'd be figuring so much shit out. I figure out so much. Life will speak to you if you just ask the right questions. It really will. And when you don't dive into what you want, like, you're gonna have whispers in your head that are just like, your mind will not stop being negative and not downing you and saying negative things about you. But what if you were to just do everything you knew that you could do? What if you could like really do uncomfortable shit in your life and really did what you said you were gonna do? This is what helps you from your mind being negative. Like, our minds are negative, which is, it's kind of natural in human nature, but we're able to rewire it. We're able to rewire with nature. It's not easy, but it takes effort, but it's possible. So yeah, the whispers won't go away, is all I'm saying. So whatever you said you're gonna do, get up and do it. I said I was gonna start trading. I kept playing. I kept trying to run away from it, and it never went away. The whispers were back here, and I'm just like, God, what's going on? Why is everything failing? Because you didn't do what you said you was gonna do, and I already told your ass to start fucking trading, and you didn't do it. So now we're here. So whatever you say you're gonna do, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. So now we're gonna talk about what happens when you actually dive in and show up for yourself every day. So I know you see those people at the gym, at the grocery stores, like just out at the park, out and about, like when you're at the movies, whatever, just out and about in life. And you're looking at them like, damn, they are so lucky. They are so motivated. And it's just like, no. Motivation isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. They're disciplined. They are disciplined, and they have a purpose for whatever reason to continue to do what they're doing every single day, even when they don't feel like it, to be that person that you think is motivated, that was born with motivation. No, you build that shit. You build motivation. And then honestly, like, every day you're not going to even feel motivated. Like, I wake up, I want like the biggest shit in my life, and it's already done. So I'm not going to even say I want it. It's already mine. But my purpose is so big. It's huge. It's so bigger than me, and I know this. And I still don't feel motivated some days to get up and do it. But guess what? I'm disciplined, and I love myself. And that is a skill that you build. It's not something you're born with. Maybe some people were taught it young, yeah, because their parents were like disciplined human beings. But it's not something you're just born with. It's something that you are learned or you are taught, and you can teach yourself discipline. If you wake up, if you go to the gym 3 days a week, and no matter what you do that, unless you're sick or something, but if you do that, you start building discipline. You start believing in yourself. You start having confidence, because you're like, I said I was going to do this, and I did this. And that's how you just keep building discipline. So these are the things that will happen when you are disciplined every single day. So these people that you're admiring and saying that they're so motivated and all that, like, they're not motivated. They're disciplined. and they don't let the mind stop them from doing anything. Like, fear will come in. Fear is just that little thought that you have right before you do something, and then you're like, oh, I'm so afraid. No, you're not. Don't listen to that fucking thought. Just dive in. Just get to it. I want to eat healthy, but it's so hard to eat. Shut up. Chicken, breast, broccoli, brown rice, whatever. I'm just saying, like, they just dive in. They just get shit done. You can be that they. You are that they. You are. So don't think about it. Just fucking do it. Just dive in. And you will feel more confident and have way more belief in your abilities. And you feeling confident, it's everything. It's everything. When you feel confident and you win in one thing, you look back on that proof. And then when you go into your next endeavor, you're like, I did this, I can do this. And then you do something else, something a little bigger. And then you're like, I did this, I can do this. And then you go into something bigger. And you're like, I did this, I can do this. And then you just keep going and you keep growing as a person. You keep growing. Everything in life is small, cute, baby steps. Like, just do something. Just start. Just dive in. It is so hard for you to even fucking get to the gym, wake up and do 10 squats in your house. There is no excuse for anything. I'm sorry, we got workout videos online. We have information about eating healthy. We have information about building a business. We have information about building your mindset. We have no excuses as to why we aren't diving in and getting shit done. We just don't. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Dive in this shit. Get this shit done. So next, you get a little done every day, and whatever you are pursuing will get better as you are becoming better. Every single day, things get better. Like, I am just starting my YouTube channel for the second time. First time, I wasn't ready. But for the second time, or it just wasn't my time. But anyways, and I know that I'm gonna like have some mess ups. I know that some of my content's gonna be like, oh, I should have said this, I should have did this. And guess what? I'm gonna refine, I'm gonna repurpose, and I'm gonna make shit happen. I'm gonna keep rebuilding, refining, learning from my mistakes, fixing it. Like, nothing's perfect when you first start out. Nothing. Stop waiting for perfection in order to get shit started. Just get started. Just do it. Like this, I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm so passionate about just doing it. Like, people have so many excuses in life as to why they can't do something. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I call bullshit. I call fucking bullshit. Like, get it done. Okay. So now that we know we need to dive in, all that good stuff, I'm going to teach you how to make diving in easier, because it's not easy to just get started when you're in when you're so far away from anything that you desire. So I'm gonna teach you we're gonna take baby steps. We're gonna start incorporating this stuff. And if you are somewhere that is not even close to what I'm saying, like if I tell you, like, for example, like, meditate for 30 minutes, and you're like, I can't even meditate for however long, do what works for you. Like, adjust these things that I'm telling you to your abilities. And I'm not saying to do it in a comfortable way. Like, still do some shit that's gonna stretch you. So if you're like, I only can meditate for a minute, do 2 minutes. Only can meditate for 5 minutes, do 7 minutes. Like, stretch yourself. Because when you do 7, you're gonna be like, oh, 7 is easy. I could do 10. And you just keep growing and doing stuff. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, when you just dive in, how this is what works. This is how it works. Like, you just dive in, and God just come in and assist you on your journey. Like, assists you. You're never alone. You think you're never alone. Like, I know it's scary to dive in and do something creative or build something, but the inspiration will come when you need it. The impulse will come when you need it. The next step will come when you need it. You just have to trust. You just have to have full faith. And this is that confidence I'm talking about. You build this confidence with time. But once you dive in and you build confidence, and the confidence also comes from God. You're like, I can do this because, oh shit, I did this last time. And then I didn't know this and I got stuck and an answer just came out of nowhere in my head and I figured it out. And then I was directed here for some reason, and then I just figured that out. And then I just got on YouTube, and all of a sudden the video I needed for this answer was right there. That's how it works. But you will never know that until you dive in. You will never know that. So let's talk about incorporating these ideas in your day-to-day. So first, you need to get organized and create a schedule for yourself. And I mean, start small. Do not overdo your schedule. Like, I'm crazy. I'm so extreme. Like, when I want to do something, I start off so insane. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, baby, we got to find some balance because this is crazy. I'm like, I want to run a marathon. And I ain't never ran a marathon before. And I'm like, I'm going to run it in. I'm going to train for 3 weeks and I'm going to do it. And I'm like, no, baby, you need to chill. You need to chill. I understand that you can do anything, but we're not going to be extreme. So baby steps, like start a schedule, like start some kind of calendar on your phone, in a book. Buy a big one, like a cute big board, and like write it out so where you can see it every day. And schedule out your days. Schedule out your days. So if you want to start, let's say, working out, create a workout schedule, create a routine. If you're like, okay, I can work out 3 days a week at this time, put that on your schedule. So you're like, okay, and I probably need like a day in between, and I don't want to work out on weekends. So you're like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's your schedule. And then you put the time on there, and you're like, I committed to this because I wrote it down. And if I write that down on my schedule, I get it done by any means necessary, unless I am sick or like family emergency. But other than that, I don't make any excuses and I get that shit done. So that's number one. You're going to create a schedule. And if you feel like you can put like working out, eating healthy, starting my business, like put it all on there. But if you are just starting out, I say just start small, like create a schedule to where it's sustainable. Because if you just go all out, you're going to be like, this is fucking ridiculous and impossible. I quit. But if you just take baby steps and you're like, I'm going to the gym 3 days a week, and that's all you put on your schedule, like, amen. Like, God is good. Like, that's better than nothing. And you're starting somewhere. Like, start somewhere. And if you just say, I'm going to the gym for 15 minutes a day and walk on the treadmill and going home, at least you're getting up, getting dressed, starting a routine and going to the gym. I promise you that's going to grow. So wherever you got to start, just start. It's not about what other people are doing. It's about what you can do and how you can better yourself. So next we have, you need to clear your mind and focus on this present moment. Like these thoughts we be having, like these fears that come in. If you clear your mind, focus on this present moment, and this is gonna lead to the next thing that I want to tell you to start doing. But if you do this thing, which is clear your mind, just get very intentional, just be very mindful of what your thoughts are that's coming up. You are more in control of your day and you're more in control of yourself. So if you're like, usually I have this thought where it's like, I'm gonna eat pizza. It's like, but I said I'm gonna eat healthy. So you detached from that thought. You hear your mind like, we eat pizza this time. Let's have some pizza. And you're like, no, we don't eat pizza anymore. or not even anymore, but right now, we don't eat pizza in this moment right now. We eat healthy. And it's just that, it's that you separating yourself from that thought, because we are not our thoughts. And when you separate yourself from that thought, and that thought comes in, and you're like, that's not me, that's not who I am. And you're able to make conscious choices, which is so important. It's so important. So clear your mind and focus on the present moment. And things that help with this a lot is meditation. Like, I have been meditating for over, I believe, like 7 years now. And I got really, really deep into it this past year. I meditate like 3 times a day for 30 minutes, sometimes 45 to an hour. And it's really changed the way that I look at things, and the way that I look at my thoughts, and the way I move. And it's changed how present I am. Like, I'm here, like I'm so in alignment, and I can hear God streaming through me, and I can really detach from my thoughts and realize, like, that's not me. And I'm able to just let it pass right through me and just notice it. I don't judge it. I don't connect with it. I'm aware of it, and I let it pass through, and I give it no emotions. And it's the same thing with the emotions in my body. When they come up, I'm able to let them come up, understand that it's just energy, and then it passes through, and I watch it pass through. And this meditation it is life-changing. It is life-changing. Like, you starting your day with 5 minutes of meditation, it's life-changing. I promise you. So, and if none of that made sense to you, there's this book called The Power of Now by Eckhart. Either it's Tolle or Tolle. And I'm talking like the most powerful book I've ever read. And it transformed my whole life, my whole being, my whole way of being. The information it has, and you just have to read it. Like, it's such a good read. But yeah, get that book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, one of the two. It's one of them. Okay, and then the last, visualization. So visualization has been so huge in my life as well. Like, so big, so big. So when I wake up, the first thing I do is do my morning routine, and then I visualize. And I visualize. Sometimes I let it just come to me, like what wants to come to me. Like, and what I mean by that is like what, not thoughts, but what images want to come to me to show me what I'm looking forward to in my day. But most of the time I'm trying to focus these thoughts and really, so most of the time I'm trying to focus on these thoughts and plan out who I say that I am. And what I mean by that is, I say I'm this big content creator. I say that I am healthy. I say that I am abundant. I say that I am a businesswoman. I say that I am the best fucking day trader alive, and I am creating successful businesses, and I am love, and I am joy, and all these things, all these different affirmations. And as I'm saying these things, I'm feeling this energy. I'm seeing myself be that. I'm seeing myself walk in that. Even like confidence, like as a woman, like, ooh, we go through some stuff. I'm sure men do too, but I'm just saying, like, as a woman, like, being confident is so huge. Like, it is so huge. And I visualize myself walking in any room. I visualize myself like, yeah, walking in any room and knowing that I belong there, because there's nothing that I can't do, be, or have. So that is my visualization, like how powerful I am, how strong I am, how in my being and confident in me I am. That's what visualization helps with. It helps me see myself being everything that I said that I want to be and I'm going to be. It helps me be loved when something's hard. It just helps with so much. And you should definitely start visualizing. I learned how to visualize through YouTube, but there's also this really good book on the self-image, and it's called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it's by Maxwell Maltz. And another book that just changed my way of thinking. I mean, books are just incredible. Like, I can recommend so many books, but this is another book that just really changed the way I think. So yeah, we covered like what happens when you don't dive into what you want to do. We covered what actually happens when you dive in and do what you. We cover whatever. We cover what happens when you actually dive in and show up for yourself every single day, and how there's this force behind you, backing you, helping you along the way, guiding you when you actually dive in. And we covered how to make diving in easier and how to incorporate it in your day to day. So, of course, you got homework. Okay, so we are so in love with ourselves, right? We're so in love with ourselves that we're going to start diving in right now, right? Right? Okay, so whatever is this thing, whatever, blah, 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 whatever this thing is that you've been pushing off, I don't know what it is. You do. I promise you do. If you don't know, sit on your couch and figure it out. Clear your mind, meditate, and ask yourself, what is something I've been pushing off that I know I need to do? And if you don't know, say, how can I better myself? What do I need to do that I know I need to do to better myself? Like, I'm telling you, we got the questions for growth. We don't play. We about connecting. Okay. So, so whatever that thing is that you've been pushing off, you're going to put it on your schedule and make it a habit. You're going to make it a habit, whatever that thing may be. Next, you're going to wake up, and before you leave your bed, so wake up 5 minutes earlier, you're going to visualize yourself doing that thing that you added to your schedule every single day. So you added it to your schedule so you can make it a habit. Now you're going to wake up and visualize so that you can see yourself doing that thing that you already promised yourself every single day. And in time, you'll just naturally do this thing. It'll just be so easy. You just wake up and you're like, this is just what I do. And lastly, we're going to affirm, even if I feel fear, I dive into it anyways. Again, even if I feel fear, I dive into it anyways. All right, I love you guys. I hope this was very informative. Honestly, all I do is give you insight on how I've been living my life and what's helped me along my journey. And I truly hope it's helping. If you want, comment below. Let me know like what you need help with on your journey. What you would like me to talk about. I'm here for you. I'm here for it. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications so you can know when I drop my next gem. And don't forget, just dive in.